Well, hello and welcome back. This is Andrew Eborn here, live on a glorious Saturday. Behind me we have the fabulous BBC. Welcome to that. You'll recognise that from the news everywhere. And I thought that today what we'll do is we'll take you all the way down to Carnaby Street. You can have a look at Carnaby Street, see what's going on there, and we can also see what's happening in Principal. So those of you who don't know the location, the BBC is right here on Langham Street, which is just by the Langham Hotel, rather coincidentally, and all on Portland Place, and it's just a few nanoseconds away from where I live, so we can pop down very easily. Behind me is the glorious Langham Hotel, where they have many fabulous places. Your breakfast show is broadcast live from the BBC every morning, and you can have a look over there. And interesting, I'll walk you over to the Langham so you can have a look at that if you'd like to do that. Let's walk you over here like this, watching as we go. Good morning. Hello, Nathan. There you go. So this is the Langham Hotel, and at the moment a lot of these hotels are obviously empty. They've been empty for some time, but we've had many an event here. This used to be the best cocktail bar in Europe. It was voted every year for the best cocktail bar, but if you have a look now, sadly it is no more. Currently closed, but this is inside the hotel. As I say, a fantastic hotel. When it reopens, you'll be able to work out what's happening over here like this. We're live at the BBC now. You're joining Andrew Eborn here on behalf of ENN, and I thought you can come and join me. We're going to go down Carnaby Street this morning, and you can see what's going on there. Morning, Donna. Hope you're doing well. Over here is All Souls Church. Now, this has played an important part in my family's life, as my grandparents were married in All Souls Church. It's a regular one here. They have a fantastic youth initiative, and the children have been involved with that as well, and brilliant stuff. So All Souls in Langham Place, and places of worship are now opening up again. Hugh Palmer is the rector, and they have different services on all the time. It's shut at the moment, but Sunday it is normally lots of people. And this church was designed by John Nash to complete his scheme for Regent Street, and it was consecrated on the 25th of November 1824. The aerial bombardments were on the 8th of December 1940, made it unusable, but it was reopened for worship on the 29th of April 1951. And they've had a major reconstruction here, which they had on the 1st of May 1975, and we also had a new wall-to-grave hall, and the church was reopened here on the 2nd of November 1976. This is John Nash. He's the architect, which we spoke about for a lot of things. And John Nash basically is responsible for many of the buildings here in central London. Hello, Julie. Nice to see you. All good stuff. So, Doctor and the Medics, we had Clive on fairly recently, and Julie's part of the fan club. She's going to be on the show later. So this is just by, walking you down, this is just by Langham Place. You're live with me, Andrew Eborn, here on a glorious Saturday. If you joined me a little bit earlier, it was lovely to see you. And we had a nice early morning walk. This morning we went down Little Venice. Saw a lot of the boats, the houseboats over there. Morning, Craig. Gordon Drayson's watching. My goodness, whatever next. You're joining me live here in central London. We came down yesterday just to see if the news reports were correct about stores being full of people, and we even went down to Westminster, and the reality was there was nobody around. If you check the video yesterday, you'll see the sort of principle that even though they say London is opening up and the shops are opening up, that is certainly true, but what's not true is that the thing that's missing are the people. There's nobody on the streets, which is quite extraordinary. Marion again, nice to see you, Marion. Marion's a regular. We love Marion. We give her exclusives. Go over to GSI, all you Bee Gees fans. Marion is the fount of all knowledge. We've had her on the show, and Marion will tell you that we give her lots of exclusive content. Yesterday, RJ made a really important announcement. I'm not going to tell you what it was, because only Marion will be able to tell you. As you're joining us, we're down here on Portland Place. We've just been to the BBC. We've just been to Langham Place rather, the Langham Hotel. And I'm going to walk you down to Carnaby Street So you can see what's going on there, and you've got to watch this live here on ENN. So always a joy. So a lot of the shops are open. We'll have a look at the shops as we did yesterday and just see how people are doing in social distancing. So this is one of the very large booths here. And we just have a look inside. Look at that, this is exit only, so I won't go in. But if you have a look inside, this is one of the busiest streets in the world, and it's virtually empty here in Boots because people are just not coming out. The shops are open, as I said yesterday, but people are not coming out. Over the road, we've got a number of fantastic places. There's the Phoenix pub over in that corner there. This is the sort of traffic light system. Pret-a-manger, Pret is open, fantastic store, Pret-a-manger. Maximum of 10 people inside. I'll just poke our head round the door. Say maximum of 10. Well, look at that. It's sadly completely empty. And the reality is, every store that I've been into in the last couple of days, including up at Camden, has been completely empty, which is the sad reality, is that London does say we're open for business. It does say we're trying to get back. Hotel de Chocolat. Here you go, look at this, a fantastic store. Good morning. How are you doing? All right, nice to see you. You're live on ENN. How's business? Can I come in? I love it. So this is, we're live here in the Hotel Chocolat. They do the best chocolate ever. It's superb. And your social distancing plans, you've got everybody works behind here. How long have you been open for?
We open on Monday.
On Monday. Have you had many customers yet?
Yeah.
Oh, they're coming in. Okay, well that's good.
Slowly, it's getting busier and busier.
No, brilliant. And what did you do during furlough? How long were you closed for?
2.5 months.
2.5 months. It's a bit tough, isn't it, without people here?
Yeah, well, what's necessary. So
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's good.
things getting better.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for showing us around. It is a fantastic place. If you want to come down, not too crowded at the moment, but we want to get the punters in. And they do everything to do with fantastic chocolate. I know you're sort of working on that basis. From salted caramel, pecan chocolate spread, that's what you want. That's glorious. How are you enjoying it?
I'm all right.
It's good. No, nice to see you anyway. Thank you so much for showing us around. So this is the Hotel de Chocolat. A simply thanks is you can get all sorts of glorious gifts there. And several ways of saying thank you. It's my birthday coming up. If you want to come in here very soon, this is where you can get me a birthday present. Nice to see you. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. There you go. So that's the Hotel de Chocolat. Fantastic stuff there. Over here we have, it's starting to rain a bit. Now we've got the sale. Everywhere's a sale on at the moment. North Face. So this is what you're finding, the big retailers as well, whilst they're opening up on that sort of basis, you'll find that the reality is there's not many. Oh, wait a minute, we've got a few people in TRUTHMAN. Now this is quite encouraging. So now we're seeing, for the first time, we're seeing people queuing. So some of the reports, there we go. Actually, there's lots of people queuing. Maybe this is for the Nike store on the corner, maybe not for Topshop. Yeah, here we go. So it's the Nike store on the corner. So these are the queues live as we speak here. You're joining me, Andrew Eborn, live on ENN. We've got a number of people working on that sort of basis. And they're all queuing. What time do you open? What time do you open? 11 o'clock. What's the time now? What's the time now? Let's have a look. It's yeah, we've got a little bit of time. Okay, they're all queuing. They're going to be having a look there. It's open on 11 o'clock. So the queues are starting. But I have to say that's the first store that I've seen where people have started to queue. All the other ones, thank you to our NHS heroes. You're joining me live here on Oxford Street in the heart of London. We've seen that whilst London may be open, so few people are actually coming out to play. Philip Thompson always likes to come out and play, so we should be seeing you fairly soon, which would be wonderful. No, but have a look here, entrance only. So this is Topshop in the heart of London, with a big thank you NHS, and you'll see that there is nobody at all wandering in. Let me take you inside. You'll probably find that the connection dies if you go downstairs, so I'll just show you inside here. How you doing? You all right? Nice to see you. Live on ENN. How's it been? Has it been busy or a bit quiet? Busy! Fantastic! Just have to tell the punters to come. I think that's amazing, isn't it? Nice to see you. Take care. There we go. Well, you can pretend it's busy, but I think the reality is that it doesn't look that busy to me. And if you look at London generally, it's got nice and safe. There are people in a box to make sure we're safe over there. Morning, you right? So, and you think over there, make sure we don't get run over by the 55 bus. And I'm going to take you down Argyle Street Now, those of you who know Argyle Street will remember there's some fantastic theatres here, and one in particular. And the prize for the first person who can tell us the name of the world famous theatre on Argyle Street. Let's have a look. Richard will know. Emma will know. So down here, I always like to show you the maps and where we are, so you can have a look and work that out. So you are here, which is just off Oxford Circus, and that's on the corner of Oxford Circus and Regent Street. And I'm taking you along. There's a subtle clue as to which place it might be. World famous theatre, and we're going to wander down there. And just in this building over here, this is where Live Nation have their offices, and one of the biggest live entertainment group in the world. We work very closely with them, and obviously the things that they're going through at the moment is quite tricky. We had a lot of events which were cancelled at the tail end of March. I had lots of plans for major tours and things like that, but sadly they've all been postponed. We're looking at new ways of bringing things back. But here is the theatre. This is the London Palladium. All those who got that right, congratulations. So this is the live London Palladium. Some fantastic gigs here, and we put many artists on. At the moment, as they say, they brought the curtain down. There you go. This is. We've had to temporarily close our theatres, but we'll be back soon. Stay tuned to our website for the most current information. Go to lwtheatres.co.uk. Thank you for your ongoing support and patience in these uncertain times. We look forward to reopening our doors and welcoming you back. So if you can have a look through, that is the London Palladium. It's wonderful. They're talking about keeping socially distanced. Well, socially distanced means being able to get in through the door. Oh, hello, you can see me. Hello. Look at us. It's got a slight delay, but that's it. Please maintain at least 2 metres. Well, they're talking about that. That's the big thing on the news at the moment, is whether 2 metres might be too much. Because if 2 metres is too much, then it's stopping a lot of businesses. Let me tell you about this place over here. This is Aqua, and if you go all the way up, they do fantastic sushi. We've had lots of after-show parties in Aqua, and they do this wonderful fusion, what we call fusion. They have a sort of Spanish restaurant with glorious things like spiced aubergine and black seafood and padron peppers. They're all delicious. And also they do amazing cocktails, so we love all this. And in addition to that, they have the Kyoto side. So this is the Kyoto side, give you an idea, a contemporary Japanese restaurant. So everything from rock shrimp to king crab and suckling pork belly. And normally, hello Harry, nice to see you. Normally what would happen, my birthday coming up on July the 7th, I know you haven't forgotten, but normally what would happen is, we might go to somewhere there, like start with a cocktail over there like that. We're looking at the various retail things to look at reality. This is Five Guys, if you're hungry. Have a look here, they are open for business, but not too busy. How are you doing, you all right? Have you been busy? Not bad. I should say, I'd hate to say, you're looking good. Nice to see you. Can I come in? Can we come in? You're live on ENN. We can have a look. It's all socially distanced. You can choose your favourite. It looks superb on the high menu. How have you found it?
Amazing.
Amazing.
Good to be back.
It's good, isn't it? Good to be back.
Very good.
How was it on lockdown?
Interesting. Boring.
Yeah, a bit boring, but it gets a bit better now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But it's great to be back. I hope you get all the customers with you as well. So nice to see you, and keep flipping those burgers. We love it. It's got to be good. And they give you peanuts here. There's a whole load of peanuts that you get for nothing if you come into your Five Guys. There's more rocking seating downstairs. Hello, Paul. How are you doing over in LA? Bruce Smith, you should have joined us yesterday, Bruce, because we went down to Bruce's favourite store. We went down to Hamley's. And we went in there and saw them demonstrating Marvin's magic. So a couple of new people I haven't seen before, but they were appropriately kitted out in shields and various other things, and showing how magic is currently being demonstrated in these extraordinary times with social distancing. So that worked very well. For those of you who've just joined me, I'm Andrew Eborn. Welcome along. We're going down to Leicester Square, and over here, if you have a look, we have one of the most beautiful stores in London. This is Liberty. And a fantastic shop. Unfortunately, it's closed at the moment, and a lot of stores are opening up, but quite frankly, they're not going to open until everybody starts making their way back. And what we've seen with all these shops at the moment is that people are basically, whilst we say London's open for business, the general population is not yet venturing out. They had to be a little bit braver. We went to Camden the other day. I took you to London Zoo earlier. This is the Wall of Fame. There we go. See if you can see some of these people. So from Arthur Askey to all the wonderful ones. Bing Crosby, Judy Garland, Liberace, Max Bygraves, Nat King Cole, Ronnie Barker, Ronnie Corbett was here, Sammy Davis Jr., Shirley Bassey. Obviously got Bruce Forsyth, Cliff Richard, Ken Dodd, all of these amazing people. Julian Clary, absolutely, Cilla Black, and Vera Lynn, of course. Vera Lynn, who sadly passed a few days ago. And what you find is that this is the London Palladium. This is the Wall of Fame. There's a big picture of Vera Lynn celebrating a phenomenal life, 1917 to 2020. And she was the Force's sweetheart. We'll meet again. And that was going to be re-released, actually, during the COVID situation. That sounds underestimating it. It's a very serious. The COVID pandemic. It was going to be re-released, and we were rather hoping that Vera Lynn would be singing on it. But that wasn't to be in the end. Instead, what happened, we did have a number of people who did do things, and not least the wonderful now Sir Thomas More, who basically went to #1, I think, which is fantastic. Over here we have Starbucks coffee. That's opening up as well. But again, all terribly, terribly quiet. You're joining me live here on Carnaby Street, and I thought I'd pop down because this is a Saturday in central London, and I thought it'd be very helpful to get an idea where this would normally be throbbing with thousands upon thousands of people in the most popular place in London. If I just flip you around over here like that, this is Carnaby Street on the busiest day of the busiest week in the height of the season. So when people say London's open, if you have a look, there's barely anybody about. And I just find that quite extraordinary, because lots of people, news reports are saying that people are crowding in and they're all flooding. But have a look, all these shops, there we are, all the shops, they're back from things. But if you look through the window, there's nobody. Nobody at all, sadly. So there's social distancing, people are getting their plans in place. But what they do need are lots of different people. So some stores have chosen not to open at the moment, and I understand why, because there's a cost in opening, and it's only worth that cost if you can get the crowds in. Lots of people are having sales. Everything's up to 50% off. But what I like is the word up to, because up to works on that sort of principle, and it may not be the total thing. But this is Columbia, so you have a look inside Columbia, and again, just look at that. Sadly, nobody here. So this is the harsh reality of retail at the moment, and I think unless we can encourage people to say, look, it's okay, we can do this. We have observed the social distancing, and that looks like a very large 2 meters. But I think what happens is they're talking about getting rid of the 2 meter rule and reducing it. And I know we spoke to Marion earlier on the show, and she was telling us that in Holland it's only, I think it's 1.5 meters. As you're joining us, this is Andrew Eborn live on Carnaby Street. I've been exploring London over the last several days to see London opening up. And behind us over here like this, we have all sorts of people. So this is Ganton Street, and normally on Ganton Street you would have thousands of people all going into the different places. But look at that. It's just me. And this is the busiest day of the week normally. And Saturday, basically, we've got nobody. So Carnaby Street, Ganton Street, all of this sort of stuff. The one thing that's missing in all of these places is you, because the stores are opening up. They're all doing these amazing bargains, so people can come in and make a lot of money. Let's have a look. Here's another store. Fantastic store. Completely empty. The doors are open, but nobody's going in. The Doc Martens store, the Van store over there like that. Replay. How you doing? You all right? Good, nice to see you. Carnaby cares, it does indeed. See all the world initiatives and brands and everything else. Well, do come down, because, as I say, there is nobody here at the moment. If you have a look here, they have some fantastic artwork. One of my favourite here, there you go. They have a very similar thing to this in Japan. Those watching in Japan will know that outside Dentsu's building, they have this particular artist, and this is Julian Opie, and it's something called Shaida walking. I think it was from 2015 they do this. But some really creative stuff going on. But there's a lot of building work going on in here at the moment. And what's interesting is that some people are coming back to work. You see the builders are back at work fixing stuff. We have a lot of people in the shops working on that sort of basis. But the reality is Carnaby Street in the heart of London, one of the biggest shopping centres in the world, is deserted. This is the view live at lunchtime on a Saturday in an unprecedented time. And not least because it's an unprecedented use of the word unprecedented. But actually ever before, that's what they say. But this is us walking down. If you want to stay with me, I'll walk you all the way down to Leicester Square. And let's see if we can go down this way. But Sweaty Betty is behind me. Lovely lady. There we go. I'm going to go road closed, but we can... looks a bit noisy that way. Let me take you this way instead. So we're going to go past Upper John Street. And people are starting to do a lot of the work which you'd normally expect around here. As I say, you're discovering the journey with me. We're basically looking at everything. We had Stacey on the show earlier, and Stacey was talking about grind and grinder. Well, here it is. Here's the coffee shop. So Soho Grind, which they do, which sadly is not open at the moment. But we had that on our thing later. And Kingley Court, which is a lovely little place. Let me take you down here, you can have a look. So Kingley Court, they have... Morning, Eamon, lovely to see you, as always. So Kingley Court, they have some fantastic places. We're seeing that, sadly, some of these are closed. A lot of places are opening up. So Bread Ahead, I love Bread Ahead. That's open for business. How is everything? Nice to see you. You're live on ENN. It's good to see you again. Can I come in? Yeah, I'll come in and chat to you a little bit. When did you open up?
We opened up last Saturday.
Okay, how's it been?
It's been okay, you know, we get some good days,
Because today should be your busiest day, shouldn't it, being a Saturday and a weekend?
This morning it's been actually really busy, yes.
But they're not here at the moment, but they were here earlier.
They come in waves, you know, on the train, it's whether really busy or empty.
And what I love about Bread Ahead as well is you do fantastic donuts. Can you show us the tray of donuts over here like this?
That's right there.
Oh, have a look at this. Here we go. This is the fantastic donuts over there like that. So Bread Ahead, thank you so much. Nice to see you. Good luck with everything. They have a baking school there as well. You can collect your donuts and deliveries. So wonderful stuff. Retail is opening here in London, but as I say, the sad reality is we need more people. So do come down here. Do come and have a look at what's going on. I'm taking you through Kingley Court now, which is right off Carnaby Street. And Kingley Court is a beautiful location. They've got a lot of retail spaces. Eamon will know all about this. But again, if you have a look here, it's also empty. The stalls, the empty chairs and empty tables. There's a song there somewhere. And we can cut through here. Fantastic Japanese restaurant. Please smile at strangers. Sound advice in this day and age. So please smile at strangers. We're coming out onto one of the side streets which runs parallel to Carnaby Street. This is Kingley Street. And so on Kingley Street, again, there is nobody here. And I can take you, actually I'll tell you what, I took you yesterday. Even little independent retailers are open. Store in here. Morning! How are you doing? All right? Have you been busy this morning? Not busy, not so busy. I know, we need more people, don't we? Nice to see you. So there we go, we have, this is London Live on behalf of ENN, and the good thing about it, I say whatever the news reports are saying, is you get to see what it's really like here, and what it's really like for retail, what it's really like for the restaurant trade, is in order to make this work, we're going to have to make sure that people are coming back and having a look. So we're taking all the way down Carnaby Street. We've seen the BBC this morning. We've seen the Langham Hotel. We're now back where I took you yesterday on my favourite street, one of my favourite streets in the world actually. This is Regent Street, glorious architecture all the way along. A lot of the stores are open and we popped into them yesterday and we realised that actually, in spite of being open, many of these places basically have no customers. So all the reports about these massive queues that we've seen on the news and the shock and the horror and the depressing, you're never going to be able to get in because people are not socially distancing. The reality is they are open, They're all taking great measures to make sure that everybody's protected, and you have a chance of ensuring that you can get served very, very quickly. I went down yesterday, bought myself a new pair of jeans, the change in size for the post-COVID. That's what they said. Under lockdown, you're either going to be a hunk, a chunk, or a drunk as a result of it. Well, I've fortunately lost a bit of weight, which is good. So it does mean that my clothes no longer fit. And now that the shops are opening, I did pop into one of the stores here. You weren't allowed to use the changing rooms, but some places allow you to use the changing rooms. And so the jeans that I got were actually too big for me. That's extraordinary. Here's another fantastic shop, Boogie in Milan. Fantastic place, but nobody is here. Nobody is here. So we're walking along Tommy Hilfiger. That's also open. We saw them yesterday. And again, if you have a look, it's completely empty. There you go. Look at that. I mean, completely empty, no entry there. I think people are taking the no entry literally. Anyway, glad to see you back. Do go back. These short stores are open. This is the busiest time of the year. Hello, Anne. Anne Wibley. When I was a little boy, I used to go to Lord Wandsworth College. We've had a lot of people on Lord Wandsworth College. I've been on the Andrew Eborn show, and they're very, very welcome. And we talk about the fantastic memories that we've had here. We're currently live on Regent Street, and we're looking at all the stores and seeing that they are open, but there's nobody other than the shopping staff. And that's the harsh reality of retail at the moment. Over the road we have Burberry, fantastic store, Penhaligon's, which do amazing aftershave and perfumes. And my birthday's coming up, 7th of July, so you know what to get me. It's always a thrill. Round the corner, over here we have Zara. Let's have a look. A couple of people in Zara. Well, not really. No, there's a security. We went in there yesterday, and it hasn't really changed. We're now making our way. This number 453 bus, which can take all the way down to New Cross Gate, where I used to live, and it goes via Deptford and over. Great way of getting around London if you need to do that. And that's the harsh reality. That's Mango, which obviously has suffered a lot, shut down all this time. It's very expensive to have all these places open, to have to pay rent and so on and so forth, but unable to get anybody coming through the doors. And if you can't get people coming through the doors, it makes it very, very tricky. A quick trot over there. Mulberry we saw yesterday, and it was empty yesterday, and it's not looking very full today, is the sad reality. Super dry over there. The people are opening up over there. We've got some fantastic restaurants. One of the oldest Indian restaurants in London, Veraswamy, is just over the road, and I've sat in that window many a time enjoying a fine curry with some of the rich and famous. That's where we would go and eat our Indian food. Hollister is open over there. Pinko is there, and a lot of these places, it's just really quiet. I see a couple of people socially distancing for Hollister, which might be opening up in a bit, so that's a good sign, I guess. You've got 4 people there, so all of that sort of making sense. Uniqlo, I did some work for Uniqlo. I mentioned to those of you who saw me yesterday, who did lots of work when Uniqlo was launching, and I helped broker the deal with Stephen Hawking, who was the face of Uniqlo in Japan. So a great store. Bottle Top, that's interesting. So a new store. That these little boutique places on some of the most expensive real estate in the world is quite tricky. And survival here is going to be particularly tricky if we don't get the punters down. So have a look. Well, this is Barber. You're walking live with me, Andrew Eborn, here on Oxford Street. We've just been down Oxford Street. We're now on Regent Street, and we're just looking at what's going on. Over there we have Whittards. We're coming up to most iconic place, one of the most iconic places in London, which is Piccadilly Circus. Have a look, just have a look down that street, Eyre Street, which normally would have loads of people all down here exploring every nook and every cranny. It is completely deserted, both sides, social distancing of 2 meters. God, I think they'd love that. There's no people here at all. This is one of my favourite places to come, the Café Royal. And the Café Royal, Cake and Bubbles, when this opens, Albert, he is an artist in terms of what he does. We had Chris Dodd on, who trained under Albert, and he taught him lots of tips about fine preparation of pastries and glorious desserts. and a patisserie, fantastic stuff. So we're walking now, there's an espresso. They normally have a fantastic cup of coffee. How have you been? Has it been busy? You're live on ENN. I just want to see how you're doing. Is it good? Yeah, have you had many customers? Have you? Because I love Nespresso, superb, isn't it? When we go to the Cannes Film Festival, that's what you normally want. But not many people here at the moment. It's a shame. They could wake up with their coffee, and there's the face of Nespresso. You'll follow that. Nice to see you, and good luck with everything. There you go. The spirit of Christmas. So there we go. When was that? Enjoy the experiences. The spirit of Christmas. All those days seem so far away. 2019, that's when it was. Well, look, we're here. We're here again in the heart of London, the beating heart of London. The buses are running. We popped into a few shops. I've brought you down this morning, slightly different route, and the reason I brought you down was just to see if on the busiest day, what should have been the busiest day, there would have been more people. And the reality is the shops are open. The shops are definitely open. There are people desperate for business, but sadly there is nobody on any of these streets, and how retail will survive if they don't get the customers is beyond me. We're just crossing the road here. I'm going back to Lily White's, which I managed to go into yesterday, because the pair of jeans that I bought, because there was no dressing room, couldn't have access to those, are too big, which is a good sign of this having been locked down all this time. My normal 10 meals a day with wonderful people meant that as I didn't have those on lockdown, I'm wasting away. And this walking also helps, I have to say. Anyway, it's been a pleasure you joining me. I'm going to pop into Lily White's now. I'm going to return the jeans and get a smaller size, which I guess is one of the good things from that point of view. But I'll give you the final view. Let's have a look. You can have a look down here. The final view, that is Piccadilly, and it's deserted. A couple of people just wandering around Piccadilly. If you have a look over here, the most glorious position in London, with Eros over there like that, and eerily spooky, eerily deserted, eerily not many people here. I will, since you're here, let me go and show you. I'll show you this fantastic restaurant, the Criterion. If you haven't seen the Criterion, because it's next door. It's also a theatre. Theatres, they don't know what's happening at the moment, obviously, and that's the big problem, the comedy about the bank robber. But here's what it's saying. Due to the current situation with COVID-19, please note all performances of the comedy about bank robber are now cancelled. Any ticket holders will be refunded at their point of purchase. And the Criterion Theatre is currently closed for the foreseeable future. Well, that's the story of all the theatres, and there are several theatres down there. Lily White's I'm going to go into, as I say. And this is, I just want to show you finally, this is the Criterion, and the Criterion was established in 1874. It's a fantastic restaurant. It's changed hands a few times. I see we've got some artwork about staying strong. Good advice there on that sort of basis. But listen, thank you so much for joining me. We have more exclusive interviews later on over on Octopus TV. If you have any views on the show, write to me at enn@octopustv.com. And if you want to be on the show, or you want any comments on who you think should be guests on the show, do let me know. But in the meantime, I'm going into this store to return the jeans that I did last time, because they don't properly fit, and I couldn't try them on in a dressing room. I'll speak to you a little bit later. I've been Andrew Eborn, you've been great. Thank you so much for keeping me company, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye.